when I was a kid, my mom and my uncle and other people in my family, they would always call me Miss America in little moments, like, oh, she's just being Miss America, or okay, Miss America, like, basically saying, like, I was being particular about something or bougie about something. And ever since I was young and up and through until my adult life, I would get so frustrated by it because I'm like, nothing about me screams Miss America. I'm very type B. I don't like I'm wearing a dress right now, but I'm always in hoodies. I don't like dressing up. I don't like doing my hair. I don't like wearing makeup. I don't fall for materialistic things. And I'm just not resonating with the term Miss America in the sense that, like, I'm bougie. If I was bougie and I, like, really liked being particular about certain things, I'd own it. And I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm being Miss America. But at the time, I didn't feel that way. And now that I'm getting older, I'm, like, noticing that I'm not Miss America in the way where it's like I am getting dressed up to go to prom or the talent show or, like, doing my makeup or looking pretty and sitting pretty all the time. That's not me. I'm very disorganized. I'm very chaotic. I'm very just, like, kind of raw, but in a messy way that sometimes it works, and sometimes I'm like, girl, get your shit together and put more effort into your appearance. And it's not just about appearance, but it is about, like, I demand excellence from myself, and I demand excellence from my surroundings. And I'm growing older, and I'm noticing, like, okay, there's a distinction there, because in one way, I'm, like, very disorganized, I'm very chaotic, I'm very much in the creative flow, whatever feels right in the specific moment, going off instinct, going off intuition, making things in a messy, loose way. And then the next moment, I'm like, discipline, perfection, putting all this pressure on myself to, like, make it click in a specific way, putting all this pressure on myself and the people around me, even sometimes to a fault, where I'm like, this is the vision, this is the standard I expect, this is the level of excellence that I want around me, this is the excellence that I expect of myself, this is the excellence that I expect from my environments. And expect is the word, right? Because, like, expectations then, like, puts you against the thing, and putting anything against the thing is always what causes disappointment anyways. But I'm, like, thinking about this, and I haven't thought about it in a while because they stopped calling me Miss America because it would piss me off, and I was be like, guys, I don't resonate with that term, stop calling me that, like, seriously, please stop. And now nobody calls me that, and I don't know why. I've just been in a phase recently where I'm really struggling with putting a lot of pressure on myself and releasing that pressure and, like, allowing myself to have fun, allowing it to be imperfect, allowing myself to show up imperfectly, allowing myself to show up when I don't have a brilliant idea, allowing myself to make bad art, make bad writing. And I don't have fear of people disagreeing with me. I don't have fear of people, like, not approving what I do or not agreeing with what I do or not liking it or sending hate, whatever. Like, I don't fear those things as much as I fear not reaching my own standard of excellence. And that's an interesting point to be in as somebody who on the day-to-day is very messy, go with the flow type B, disorganized, whatever. And I am trying to navigate, like, how I can allow myself to just be and just make and just enjoy. And I just made a video about this, about enjoying, and how there's nothing to do except enjoy. And I keep coming back to it because I'm really in a moment where I am demanding excellence always. And the thing about demanding excellence, and this lines up with my childhood, because I was a competitive gymnast, and in gymnastics you are aiming for perfection, like, that is the goal. And I have touched that in the sense of, like, I know what it feels like to be excellent, and I know what it feels like to be amazing at something, and I know what it feels like to work really hard in order to get to a degree of excellence that then you're operating in a way that's like, okay, this is what it feels like to be great. And because I know what it feels like to be great, I have lived my whole, I could cry about it. I feel like since I was a child, am always reaching to be great. And I'm doing that while also simultaneously not valuing greatness in that way, if that makes sense. Like, I really believe that nobody's special, and that's so freeing. Like, that's the best, most amazing, I can't even speak, best, most amazing thing. Like, you get to just exist, and there's no standard or expectation of what success means other than, like, are you getting what you want out of life? And I think, honestly, like, part of the problem is I'm grateful, but I have gotten a lot of what I've wanted out of life. And not everything, but, like, I live a very fortunate, fruitful, fulfilling life. And I feel like the work that I do, the things I'm experimenting with, even my own self-expression and writing and art practice, and just, like, the resistance that I come across and that I, like, then try to get through and navigate, like, to me, that is life. And, like, that is, like, so fulfilling and exciting to me, because, like, everything is potent and magical. And, like, when I dig into it mentally, or even just, like, physically being present with the experience of, like, wow, life is so cool and fun. And that's what I always come back to. But I live that way while also expecting and demanding some level of greatness or excellence for myself. And I think I once had a professor, and it was a painting class, and I was not in art school. I was not an art student. Everyone around me was in art school. It was an advanced painting class, so it was like a class that you take, like, your junior, senior year of college if you are pursuing an MFA. And I kind of finessed my way into the class, and it was one of the best and most important classes that I took during my time at UCLA, because I just wanted to be there. And I was like, I want to be there, so I'm going to put myself there, and I'm going to get myself in the room, even though I'm not an art major, I technically don't have a place in the department, and it's going to be very difficult to. So I did that. And once I got there, I very loosely, because there was no expectations of me. Nobody was like, oh, you're a good artist, or you're an art student, or, like, you have any type of technical skill. I was just painting, and I painted a shit ton of paintings. I think I painted, like, 50 paintings in a 3-month time span. And the professor, he was very encouraging in the sense of, like, trying to reiterate to me that I had some level of taste in my work, and that, like, yes, there were certain technical skills that needed to be developed, but, like, just the fact that I was doing the work, and making the work, and letting myself make a lot of work was some type of, like, the right thing for me to be doing in that moment. And I think about that often, because what happens on the day-to-day now, like, later in my process, it's a couple months, it's like, almost a year since then, I get stuck when I start demanding excellence out of each painting. And I'm saying painting as, like, an example, because it's also content creation, it's also my writing, it's also my own journaling practice, it's also YouTube videos, it's also painting itself, it's also sketching, it's also my postcard business, it's also my freelance work. Any project that I do, because I'm a project person, and I see, like, my artwork and my writing and my paintings and my YouTube and my business and my freelance work, those are all just, like, different projects that are all ultimately me learning about myself in the world through some type of, like, expression or medium or some type of container. And what slows me down on all of the various mediums or things is that I get very critical, and I get very, like, hey, like, it needs to be XYZ way, or, oh, I need to expect that I'm going to say something good or sufficient, or have a quality idea, or make work that is powerful or means something. And that's just not how you make good work. You don't make good work by, like, meticulously trying to control your way to getting to a set outcome. You make good work by being an open channel and letting yourself just, like, exist and evolve and, like, collect information and let it go through you and let it process through you, and then having some type of outcome or narrative or theme or thesis from all of these realms of experiences. And the thing is, that takes more time than often, like, if you're in your creative process, I hate that term now, I hate that everything in the word, like, creator, artist has been, like, so objectified almost, like, because of the creator space, but I love the internet and I love the creator space. Anyways, I notice that I lost my train of thought. I notice that because there is such an, I remember, instant culture and, like, an instant, quick process of me making the thing and getting it out, whether it's, like, expression or visual art, or business stuff, I, on the day-to-day, know how to do the tasks to get things done. And I know how to, like, write the thing and make the thing and do the thing. But the truth is, it's going to take hundreds, thousands of iterations of that one instance of expression to then create like a broader portfolio or a long-term piece. That's how you're building your world. I made a video about this, and I should watch it because like it did really well, and it was about world building and how world building takes time and how it takes multiple days of just being in the work and like collecting little pieces to then over time build your world. And because I'm a perfectionist, I'm like trying to build a world in a day, and I'm trying for each piece of my world to be perfect. When that's go outside, look in the real world. Is each part of the real world perfect? No. Each part of the real world has its wabi sabi. It has its little things that just like don't really make sense, but then it makes sense when you add it, put it next to something else. And because you have like adjacent pillars of things that are next to each other that are like then aggregating into like an overall experience, an overall picture, an overall thesis, an overall idea, an overall long-form project, or an overall world, that's when things kind of build. And I know this. And still I do this thing where I like expect every piece of the puzzle to be pristine and excellent all the time. And it's becoming very obvious to me because I'm currently in a relationship, and I haven't been in a relationship for, I barely ever, like most of my adult life, I've been single, and it's becoming very apparent to me, like living with another person and being around another person all the time, that like I have these expectations or like standards of excellence that are like almost miserable to be around. Like even in my own head, I'm like, girl, like relax, like you're literally in a beautiful space, in a beautiful country that you earned your way to get here. Like just enjoy it and have fun with it. And instead I am always making everything an opportunity to maximize the situation because I see so much like magic and potential. I see magic and potential in everything, and that is pushing me to an experience of putting pressure on the thing to squeeze all the magic out of it possible. Like maximizing all the possible potential at any given point in time. And that doesn't matter if it's a financial purchase that I make, something that I'm making, something that I'm eating, or just my own self and my progress in life. And that also, like, back to the relationship thing, puts a lot of pressure on other people in my life. And I notice myself doing that, and that's like what the beautiful thing about relationships is because like now I'm like seeing it, and it's like very apparent to me, and the mirror is mirroring, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's something I gotta work on, because like that's just not healthy or loving or nice or trusting. And I want to be all of those things, and I want to, yes, like reach for excellence and try to be the best I can be, and like work hard on things and enjoy myself and like find fulfillment through that process, because that's the thing, like I really do enjoy really applying myself and being agentic and like pursuing the things that make me excited. But at the same time, like when it comes down to it, all there is to do is enjoy and be in the presence and be in love and like, you know, be around the people that make life special. And I am like having a lovely time making this video, even because it's like these are the things that need to get out to get past the resistance. And I think like that's interesting about like, I need to stop saying like, in terms of the digital studio space, like the way that I want to continue using the internet. And it's funny because every time I make a video, I end up towards the end talking about my experience on the internet and intellectualizing that in some way. And I think that's because like right now it's something I'm really struggling with. I like don't know how I want to approach things, and I'm trying to stay consistent and like trying to continue having fun with it while feeling like very actively like I don't know what I want to say. Like I don't know what I want to be known for. I don't know necessarily like the things that are my things. And that's part of like growing up, and like that's part of like just learning about yourself in life. So then when you're doing it on the internet, it's like, okay, like now this is like then like a visual anchored part of my digital footprint of like something that I said or believed at a given point in time. And like I think that's me not being trusting of the world and people watching. And first of all, nobody's even watching that much, but like people watching know that things change, you know, and people watching know that nothing you say at a given point in time is going to be like the end all be all forever. Like, people grow, and like me having that perspective of it needing to be excellent and brilliant now is what holds me back in the moment. But also, it's just simply untrusting of like the people I'm interacting with and communicating with, because like it is a creative process and it's a collaborative process. And when I view something on the internet, never am I like meticulously analyzing what a person says and being like, oh, they're stupid for that, or I disagree. Like, I just don't operate in that way. And even if there's people that do, like, there will always be more people that are just going to be understanding and accepting of like, hey, this person is just experimenting, and like this person's just having fun with the whole thing. So when I get too pretentious about like, hey, it must live up to some secret standard that's in my head that I don't even know like what that even means, because I don't know what excellence means. And that's why the whole thing is funny too, because like I have this like vague standard of excellence that ultimately continues to put pressure on my like it's just an excuse for me to put pressure on myself to like for some reason not accept where I am. And I love where I am. And I am just learning to be grateful for where I am, and like learning to just like reiterate the fact that like you are where you're supposed to be, and like you are in the perfect place, and what is meant for you comes in its correct timing. And I know all those things logically, but it's about like letting them feel to be like really true, and letting them be, you know, the not only feeling them to be true, but like really being present with that experience to the point where like you're not even thinking about it. That's a good indicator. That's a good indicator for me, is like with gratitude and stuff too. Like when you're say you're experiencing a lovely, beautiful moment, and you're like, wow, this is such a great moment. Like, I hope I remember this forever. Like the true magic moments don't come from that moment of like you forcing yourself to like try and remember it. They come from you just like being in the thing, you know. And I've noticed this in myself, and I've noticed it with a lot of other self-aware people in my life, that like when you become so self-aware, you're taking every possible option, and you are kind of making a case for each side all the time, which is exhausting. And I'm just telling myself, and I'm telling my younger self, and I'm just continuing to remind the world and me and like anybody who's watching this that it's not about meticulously controlling each step of the way. It's about just like being open and living and having fun and enjoying. It's like, am I gonna like make a bunch of videos and just say the same thing every time, which is just like all there is to do is enjoy? Because that's really that's my thesis right now. All there is to do is enjoy. This was kind of a rambly video. What did I even start with? Oh, I was talking about like being a type B perfectionist, and I think that if I'm gonna wrap it up and like get back onto that topic, like I think that you can be a type B perfectionist, and I don't think that perfectionism is inherently bad, because to me perfectionism is saying like, hey, like you care about stuff, like you care, and maybe sometimes you care too much, and maybe caring too much is slowing you down sometimes, but the fact that you care is a good thing, because like life is good, and there is so much to be appreciative about and intentional with. And when you are intentional, like the act of intention is an act of appreciation. And oftentimes when you are intentional with, you know, your belongings or the people in your life, you are doing things considerately, and you're doing things considerately because you care about them. And that act of continuously doing things with intention and consideration, which often is paired with perfectionism in many cases, is an experience of being appreciative for the magic and beauty of a thing that exists, and wanting to service that thing that exists, or that person that exists, in the best possible way that you can. And when I allow myself to look at my perfectionism, or look at that type of intentionality that's like, okay, girl, like excellence, like discipline, and that, and I'm like, okay, now we're gone too far. Like, now it's no longer an act of appreciation and intention, it's an act of like demanding that the magic exists always, and the magic exists always without you demanding it to. And even more so, like, that perfectionism cannot be, for me at least, like, I'm learning that it's like not something that I need to like villainize. It's something that I can look at and be like, okay, clearly this is me trying to have a tool, or like me trying to use a strategy to do the right thing because I care about it. How can I reshift that and be like, girl, you care about it, so you're doing the right thing, you know? I don't know if that makes sense. Anyways, I do continue to hold on to the fact that like the whole type B thing too is like interesting, because I think a lot of it is kind of branded as carelessness, or like a very carefree go with the flow energy. And I don't think it's carelessness. I think it's just like, what do you put energy towards? And I think back to the Miss America comment, like the things that I put energy towards, like I do get very detail oriented about, which is kind of Miss America, like an energy of like quality and perfection. That's why I was being called Miss America, even though I like wasn't ever dressing up. Anyways, that was like, I was trying to connect that theme, or like that story, to like my thesis on being someone that is like a perfectionist but also like very easygoing and like disorganized and kind of creatively manic and inconsistent, because like that is who I am, but then at the same time I'm demanding excellence. Like, how does all that make sense? But I think that's also just part of being an artist. And I think a part of being an artist also is like working through all these moments of resistance and all these moments in your creative process where you're like, okay, I don't know what this means, I don't know why it's frustrating me, and I'm trying to make the work and it's like holding me back. And you just can't make good work from putting pressure on it to be good. It's just not where good ideas come from. And I will be reminded of this over and over and over and over until it becomes apparent to me. Another thing I've been thinking about is like, I love making these stream of consciousness videos, but I also care about putting quality work out on the internet. And to me, where I'm at with that, because I think I brought this up in past videos, so I'm just going to give an updated context. Quality to me means, was I being true and honest to myself? Like, was I being the most true, open, honest version of myself in that moment? And did I say what I needed to get out? And did I do the things that like excite me? And did I talk about the subjects that are interesting to me? And a lot of the things that are interesting to me are this like whole concept of becoming and the creative process as a whole, and my experience navigating uncertainty, my experience like doing life. Like, that is what's interesting to me. And I love a good deep life talk. I love a good philosophical discussion on like how we ascribe meaning to things. And I think that what a quality piece of work to me means right now is I put it out, I let myself express myself, and I let myself be honest without being overly judgmental about what that looks like or what that means, or if I said the perfect thing. Which is like kind of a relief to say, because I think that as I'm a very small creator, but like I've noticed myself, even from like having 0 people watching to having like 1,000 people watching, as there's more people watching, I get more careful with what I put out. And that's not the energy I really want to be in, because I want to be in the energy of like being an open channel and just like saying what feels true and honest. And again, I think it's interesting because like I don't think that the fear comes from being seen anymore. Like, it used to be that, but and now it's not that. The fear really comes from like not reaching my own expectations. And I like don't have a wise answer to reframe that, except like I have so much evidence that like I have done beautiful, amazing things with my life and with my connections and with my relationships and like with my explorations and with my art and with my writing. So like, why do I feel like I need to like reach again some standard of excellence that I don't even know how to describe right now, because that's the last thing I'll say on excellence. You're aiming for a direction that is, it's undefined, and you right now, because you are not who you will be, you right now, and who you will be is informed by who you are right now, but like you can't always dream as big or see that level of excellence as clearly now as you will be when you're actually experiencing the thing. And I think with visionaries and people that are very like vision oriented, or like they see things and they see it clearly and they're like, this is what's gonna happen, and I am that breed of delusional. Like I know that I see things for my future, or like in the world that click for me. And when I try to force each step to that vision, the vision dissipates, because that vision exists with different steps. Like some of the steps that I know that are gonna get me there, and others are just like things that just, it's outside of me. It's like the whole world. It's the collective consciousness. It's God. It's the universe. It's whatever is out there orchestrating things. Like there's too many things going on for you to have active control over each step that gets you to a certain point. So just let it go. Okay, girl, bye. You're being crazy. Anyways, this is fun. I'm having fun with this. I wanted to do a life update video. I might do that next. I want to do a life update video just about like all the things that have like just like not what I'm navigating, or like what things I'm thinking about. Literally just like what has been actually going on in my life, because I feel really grateful that like a lot of exciting things are happening for me, and a lot of things that I just feel excited about, and that feel aligned in a way, and that I am enjoying. Anyways, I love you. Thank you for watching this. Life is good. Life is beautiful. Life is so cool and fun. Enjoy it.